Hi, so in this video, we're going to continue talking on Dart built-in types. So in this video, we're going to talk on lists and maps, but first we'll start with list. So in Dart, lists are, in every programming language, you have common collection data types. Now in Dart, arrays are list objects, so we just call them lists. In Java, you could call them arrays, but in that we just have we call them lists. Now, that list looks like JavaScript array literals. So to initialize a list in that, like we just did here, we're going to initialize a list of fruits. So we have orange, apple, and banana. Now we print it and it prints the list showing us what it contains. Now we're not really printing those things individually. Now we can check for the length of the list. Yes, it contains 3 elements: orange, apple, and banana. So now that we can see a basic look on how lists are, we can now access individual elements. Like the first element, orange, is index 0. So this is how lists are ordered: 0, 1, 2, and continuous like that. So if you have a list of 3 elements, you have 0, 1, 2. First element is 0, last element is 2. So orange is 0, apple is 1, banana is 2. Just like you have arrays in other languages. Like if you have programmed in other languages, an array starts from index 0. Now, if peradventure you say you want index 3, we don't have index 3 here because it's 0, 1, 2. What that will do is that you get an error and an unhandled exception. That is saying you proposed to get an index which was not in the range of 0 to 2, because fruit has a range from 0 to 2. That is orange, apple, and banana. 0, 1, 2. Now you can loop through this value, this variable fruits, using ForEach. I'm sure you must have heard ForEach, but if you have not, it's a very cool tool to use. So we could loop through it. We pass in it. We're going to use the lambda expression actually. So looking at this, I'm going to print I love. As I'm looping through it, I'm going to say I love each fruit as I'm looping through it. So I love orange, I love apple, I love banana. So it gets the list and prints it. And then as it's giving me the value for each element in this list, I'm saying I love that element. I love orange, I love apple, I love banana. So there we have it. I love fruits. So this is simple for each expression in that. So apart from this, we also have, let's say I want to get a different list. So instead of just printing I love orange, I love apple, I love banana, I actually want another list apart from the list fruits that actually has values. I love orange, I love apple, I love banana. So I can say fruits.map. Now map is a function that takes the value, then operates on it and returns back another value based on what I operate or what I say it should do on it. So I can use those values and convert all the values into a list. I know that it sounds funny, but let me explain. If you have used map already, yes, that is very easy. But in case you don't know, this is similar to what I did in ForEach. Just that now, instead of printing it, each value, after getting the I like orange, I like apple, I like banana, I'm going to convert it to list and return the value to the variable like fruit. So like fruit now is actually a list, but it doesn't just contain orange, apple, banana. It contains I like orange, I like apple, I like banana. So once we print it, as you can see, it's similar to what we saw earlier, but instead of it just shows I like orange, I like apple, I like banana. So here we're going to talk about maps. Now maps has to do with key value pairs. So you have your key and you have your value. So sort of like uh if you've dealt with things like that in Python, I think we call it dictionaries. And you have your key. So I'm going to use like a class. So you have your name and your score. Let's say you have a group of people and what they scored in math. So let's say Daniel scored 99 over 100, David scored 60, and Samson scored 77. So now that we have the name and the score, what we do is that if we want to find, okay, what did Daniel score, we just put score and pass in the name. And what it prints out is the value of that name, which is for us the score. So you can use this to do a lot of things, and using key value manipulation. Now, if you decide to search for a name that doesn't exist, like Lizzie, you get a null value. Right. Now, this is different from array. In array, when you put an index that doesn't exist, you actually get an exception. But for maps, if you get a request for a key that doesn't exist, what you get is just a null value. Now, I can reassign a key, let's say this Lizzie, because our initial scores map variable does not have Lizzie. But in the middle, I can say, okay, let's give Lizzie a score. So Lizzie scored 80. Now, if I decide to print this again, it instead of giving me null, it actually gives me the score, which is 80. So there we have it. And we can assign other values continuously, step by step. And I think that can be seen right here. So now we're going to start our Lemubit Q&A. So first, let's imagine that you have this. What should be printed? What do you think will be printed? Give me the answer. You can pause the video. Alright, so actually when you print this, it's going to give you an exception. Why? I know you might have thought that variable country actually is a list that contains 5 elements, but it actually contains 1 element because everything there is under one single double quotation. So US, Nigeria, UK, China, India, everything is just an index 0. So the second line, line 7, that was asking for index 3, there is no index 3, so it gives an error. So to fix that, I can give every country a different, like partition it and give it 5 elements. So we have US, Nigeria, UK, China, India. So index 3 will be China. So as you can see, we printed the first index 0 is US, index 3 is China, and the length now is 5. Yeah, that was a tricky question, wasn't it? So the next question now is going to be based on maps. So let's say you have this. What is going to be the answer when I do this? Once I press print, or when I run this program, what is going to be the output? The output will be A. I guess that was easy for you, right? So have a nice day.